All is fair in love and marriage. Discussing everything from A to Z, cause that's the way it's supposed to be, yeah. All is fair in love and marriage. We may agree to disagree, but in the end we know it's you and me, yeah.
What's good, everybody?
What's going on?
We are the Newsomes.
And this is the All is Fair in Love and Marriage podcast.
Episode 8.
This is number 8, y'all.
What was up? Twice.
I did 5 and 3.
Yeah. Anyway, you gotta get there. 8 is special for us because it is our anniversary date.
Yeah.
And it is the number of new beginnings.
That it is.
And it is our last episode of 2020. Yes, we taking a break, y'all. We've been going strong though. We've been going real strong, and y'all been sticking with us because we're going places, right?
I see what you did there.
That was nice. Yes, but we taking a break. So next week we're just gonna air a nice little blooper reel, cause trust me,
y'all wanna tune in for that.
We got lots of bloopers. Look, just had a blooper.
Some of the stuff behind the scenes be crazy.
Very fun though. Very fun. Very laughterous.
Laughterous.
I just made that up.
What is that?
I just made it up. Proclamation.
All right. We're gonna be down here, and once we press stop, once we're done recording, we will not take whatever we discussed upstairs. No ill feelings or anything. We'll go upstairs, and we'll be happy lovers, happy parents, and all will be good with us.
You know, we say that every week,
and
it changes. First of all, it is a different proclamation every week. Same thing, but the wording is different. Second thing is, for the last couple weeks, we have been taking it upstairs. Not in a bad way.
Just, we've prolonged the discussion.
We've extended the version. Not the virgin like Mary, but the version. I have more than one today. Oh my god. I'm hilarious. When you say so?
I love you.
Okay, whatever. So last week, it was Michaela and I. Mm-hmm. It was fun recording with my baby, even though she was whispering like this, talking so low. Mm-hmm. But it was fun.
She want to be in front of the camera. She got to get used to it. She got to get used to talking.
She has a great personality for YouTubing and all of that.
We got to put her on here a little bit more.
We're going to have to. Yeah, we will. And we had talked about.
I heard y'all was dogging me out a little bit.
We had talked about. No, we didn't.
I ain't dogging you.
We love doing you.
Mm-hmm.
Last week with Court and I, we talked about punishment and whoopings and all of that jazz, and it got real tense. We had a special guest, Cordy Jr. He revealed all.
That boy.
But he had daycare today because we wasn't playing.
We ain't missing no more.
We like, listen, yo, you gotta be out of here.
You gotta go.
But we talked about punishment. We talked about, just our different views and all of that stuff. And then we pushed stop and continued to talk about it upstairs and continued to have discussion about it.
For a few days, actually.
Yeah, for a few days. We still have our separate stances.
Mm-hmm. Even though behind closed doors she agreed with me a little bit.
I don't agree. Oh, so Michaela, we were all leaving. We were all getting ready to go. And I was like, Michaela, get your clothes on because you got to go. And the only reason why I like to encourage her to leave is because, okay, we're remote learning, so she's in the house all day. Can't really go too many places because of COVID, so she's in the house all day. And I don't want her to get comfortable with just staying home when everybody leaves the house. I just feel, you know. So I'm like, get your stuff on. Why I gotta go? And without thinking, I said, because I said so. But Court don't know that I planned that.
You fronting like a mug. You didn't even realize you had said it.
I was so mad. I was so mad for the rest of the day. Like, yo, we just recorded this and I lost the argument that quick. I don't agree with that phrase. I still don't agree with the phrase. I guess it's because it's embedded in my black culture, my parenting culture, that the answer is supposed to be because I said so.
No, it's just because stop questioning me. Like, yeah. I gave you an instruction. Execute.
I guess in that moment it was valid. But whatever. I still stand how I stand. I do. I still stand how I stand.
Everything don't take the banter back and forth.
Everything does not take the banter back and forth. I just hate that phrase. Like, I think instead of saying because I said so, I'm going to bring it to 2020 and be like,
because that's what I would like you to do.
I said what I said. Get your clothes on. Go get in the car. I like that one better.
That's a little bit more short, though.
I said what I said. Final. You know, whatever. We're not going to go into the punishment and discipline because we will not talk about anything else. But speaking of like parenting and things of that nature, and you know, being embedded in your black culture, there's always been the phrase "it takes a village."
Yeah, and I believe that to an extent. To an extent, I'm very big on the idea of having a village and support and having that extended family per se.
Yeah.
When it comes to, you know, bringing up children. Not to say that I think everybody needs to be in everybody's business when it comes to like personal matters and home matters, because what happened in my house stay in my house.
Oh, black culture.
But, you know, I came up in a time where I got a whooping from my grandparents, from my parents, and there were those that were trusted people that were considered to be a part of my village, to where if they caught me doing something that I wasn't supposed to be doing on site, if they felt like they needed to discipline me right then and there,
nah, that ain't okay.
I mean,
you grab me, or you know how back in the day, pull me by my ear. Speaking of ears, I like my earrings. Ain't they rough? That's
so
festive.
Fleshy.
Ain't they cute?
They cute.
Anyways.
I thought they was penguins, but
there's snowmen.
I corrected. Listen, it was at first glance. And it was sitting right next to your socks that you had showed me, and they looked exactly the same, had the same face.
Pull me by my ear. Follow the earring. Pull me by my ear, and take me to my mother, and let my mother handle it.
I get what you're saying.
Because there may be something in your household that you think, like we had this conversation last time. It's things that when you were coming up that you felt children were not allowed to do or weren't supposed to do. And then when you met me and you were like, wait, you let her do that? Or you okay with this? Or whatever the case may be, you might chastise or discipline my child, you know, in the multi-purpose hall at church when I'm in the sanctuary, and I'm like, but I gave her permission to do that. Or, you know what I mean? Like, where you really don't have reigning rule to do so. You get what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
So,
and I agree with that illustration. But what I'm speaking to is like, say, like I was. One individual I can speak to is one of the old mothers at my old church.
Or when you set the mattress on fire.
I didn't set the mattress on fire.
Go ahead. One of the old mothers at church.
No, so you can't just put stuff out there like that and have people thinking I'm some pyromaniac. I didn't touch the mattress, nor did I touch the matches. I mean the mattress or the matches. That was the whole twisted up thing there. No, that was my oldest brother. I'm sorry. I'm gonna put you out here because you can't have me out here looking crazy. That was my brother and one of his friends of another persuasion.
Go ahead. Somebody of other persuasion.
Yes, it was someone of another persuasion. And we were walking home from school. I had no choice but to walk home from school with him. I was 8 years old. But I got in trouble I got a whooping essentially for being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
So how did they find out? How did your parents find out?
The police department came. The police department that came. They had to put the fire out. And it was literally in the house in the alley. Literally, you can see the house from my grandparents' house, which is where we were walking to. We were in the alley right behind their house.
Oh, okay. So so with that example, right?
Mm-hmm.
Say a neighbor seen you that was close to your family,
Right.
and they grabbed you up and whooped your butt. Would that be acceptable?
If they saw me actually with the matches?
No, I'm saying all three of y'all. Your parents whooped all three of y'all. Well, your parents whooped you and Cam. So if that family, that neighbor seen you and they whooped you and Cam, would you be okay with that?
I mean, me personally, no.
Would you think that was acceptable?
That person no. That person, no. But they're not a part of the village.
I'm saying if they were a part of...
If they were a part of the village, then, I mean, yeah.
No. Absolutely not. No.
If it was somebody that I trusted...
There's people that I trust to watch my children. And I wouldn't say that they had the right to whoop my kids. I mean, like, it depends.
For me, if I trust you to watch my kids and I feel like they're doing something that needs to be disciplined, if I'm giving you reign to be the one that's being the caretaker for them, absolutely.
You know,
just like with Annie, if she come over here, and I've never done so yet. I don't think I've ever put my hands on her.
You ain't ever put your hands on her. I would have busted you up.
No, but I would pop her just like I would pop my own son.
Well, yeah. Okay, but that's not what I'm saying. I don't think that it is okay to, like, you leave someone in their care. There are families that don't believe in physical punishment. Whooping, spanking, pop, whatever the case may be. They may feel like there are other ways of discipline, which I put that higher than whooping. I wouldn't want to, if I don't, like, for instance, if there are families that feel that curse words are just words, like we talked about before. So they feel it's okay to cuss at their kids. If I send my child to your house, don't cuss at my child. I have a problem with that.
But that's for you to be the buffer, and you're supposed to be the one that, like, if I know this is your lifestyle, I'm not gonna send my kid over there if I don't want them to be exposed to that.
That's a part of their discipline for their child. Sit your way down.
But if you know that as a parent,
no,
don't send your kids over
there. What
there.
I'm saying is that if that's because that is my choice of parenting. I choose not to cuss at my child because I don't think that that's okay. Mm-hmm. Okay? There are parents who be like, I choose not to physically whoop my child because I don't feel that that's okay. So that means, you got to cut somebody out of your village because you don't feel like physical discipline is something that I want to teach my child. No, I don't agree with that. I don't think so at all. Absolutely not. And your eyes is showing me that you agree as well.
What?
You agree with what I'm saying?
No, if there's an individual that I know their style of parenting doesn't align with mine, that we have two completely different models, and I'm sending them over there, I'm sending my kid over there to be like the caretaker or whatever, whatnot. I mean, I'm saying that I trust you to handle my child.
I trust you to handle my child, but I don't trust you. Just like people say, don't do what I won't do. I don't trust you to handle my child the way I want to handle my child. Just like right now, we send Cordy to daycare. Mm-hmm. I send him to Miss Linda because I know and I trust her with my child because she took care of Michaela. So I trust her to essentially align her care the way that I would. You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, but
So and as like in her in the way that she is, she's not gonna do something that she's like she'll probably even check with me first or check with you first. You know, when it comes to the care of Courtney. So like I don't think that is okay to.
See, I feel like in that instance the role is reversed. I feel like it's our duty to essentially do the research on how she like what her structure is. I don't think it's really her duty to have to go to each and every parent.
It was when it came down to foods.
I mean, yeah.
And it wasn't like a food allergy. It could have been allergy, but you know, certain things. Like, I don't know. I just think that if I send my child to your house and you know that I don't whoop my child, don't make that your first resort.
See, I'm the type where I'm like, don't send your kids over here, because my thing is, I whoop other people's kids. And I'm upfront about that.
Lord.
So if you don't want them exposed to that, when you in my house, you follow the rules of my house, and if you send your kid over here and you want me to be responsible for them, they gonna be treated just like my kids are. That's my stance. And if that's not okay with you, don't send them over here.
Okay,
Period.
so we're gonna move on because this conversation is gonna take over, and I don't agree with it. But I don't agree with it.
That's okay.
It's not.
It's okay that you don't agree. It's fair.
I mean, you say that, but it's the truth.
It is the truth.
It's your truth.
It is my truth.
Not my truth.
But it's my truth.
Yeah, so I don't agree with it because it's not my truth.
I get that. But I'm saying that it's nothing new. Like this is the same conversation I've had with Marigold, same conversation I've had with Jacoby.
Right.
Same conversation I had with your mom. This is how I operate. This is just me. So I don't have any problem. I don't have any problem.
Regardless of age, growth can take place. So
Yeah,
let's
I
just
mean,
pray that some
yeah.
growth takes place where you don't have to force the iron fist.
I'm not saying that it's my goal that when you come over here, I'm going.
I guess it's your stance. I guess it's just the way you just said that. It just sounds like your goal is to catch a kid acting up so that you can whoop them. Like that's just how you're like. And I said this, I said this to you before. Like I just feel like, to me, it's more of a pride thing. Like where you feel like you have to whoop a child to let them know who you are, but that's not necessarily necessary. And I'm just saying it because of how you say things or how you how like the persona that you have behind it. Like it's not like if it comes down to it, then yes, that'll happen. It's like, listen, if you see your kid over here and they gonna get a whooping if I need to whoop them.
It's more so just an open book, because fact of the matter is, you might not know what my stance is on disciplining their children.
But the way you were like, I whoop other people's kids. Like,
I do.
But like, that's just so, I don't know, that just sounds bad to me. Like, it just sounds bad. There's really no other way to say it.
I don't want you to send your child over here thinking that they can act however they want to act and they won't catch these hands.
That's not the case. I don't think that that's it. But like, I think your delivery is just wrong.
That might be.
Just bad.
I'll own that.
That's what I'll say. I'll just say that delivery is bad. And I think that and that's why I said, like, with age comes more growth. Because...
But my thing is with that is the illustration I'm trying to make and the point I'm trying to make is that if I'm sending my kids over to you, and if you feel... If I trust you enough, for one, to send my kids over to you, and if I feel like you have to make a judgment call to say, hey, they might have done something that was out of line and I had to check them. And sometimes that might have to be, I had to pop them on their butt because they was wilding. And they weren't listening.
Okay, you pop somebody on their butt because they was wilding, and then they go home. That nigga, I'm gonna blurt that out. That dude dude better not ever put his hands on you again. I don't know what he was thinking. He ain't got no permission to whoop you. So everything that you did was in vain, because when he get home or she get home, their parent is like, I don't raise my children that way, so they shouldn't be putting their hands on you. And that causes 100% more rebellion. Like, I feel like even in co-parenting, like, there's been things that Michaela has done when she's been in the care of Mark. He'll call me and be like, yo, Mick over here wilding out, like, blah, blah, blah. We communicate. You know what I mean? Like, if it ever come, like, when it came down to Max, when Max was over here and he was acting up, I told Lanice, I'm like, okay, your son is crying because he couldn't go outside and play. He had to sit in the chair because he popped the monster. He popped the dragon. I told her, I communicated with her immediately, and she disciplined him when she picked him up. So I feel like when you are being that supervisor in that moment, you don't chastise the child beyond. I don't agree with physically whooping somebody else's child unless it is like detrimental. Like if Max come over and smack Carter in the face, I'm whooping your butt. However, if he come over and draw on the wall, I'm probably not gonna whoop him.
That's
because
not
we don't whoop.
I'm not whooping Cordy for
on
that.
the wall.
Exactly.
But I'm saying, like, when it, like, there's times where Annie and Cordy will go back and forth fighting and arguing and stuff like that. I don't think it's necessary to whoop them just to get them to sit down and stop arguing. And
I haven't.
But what I'm saying is, like, in the sense of saying I whoop other people's kids.
I'm saying if I feel necessary that I have to whoop your child to get them to act the way that they should be acting,
that you think that,
or that I feel they should be acting in that moment, then I will. But that's not every situation.
I don't know.
It's not.
I don't know. I just don't.
Like I said,
there's
plenty of times where Annie is over here and they're both cutting up. They don't get whoopings, but I'll talk to them with a stern voice and I'll get them together.
So I think it's fair to say I discipline other people's children. I will chastise. Because chastisement and disciplining doesn't necessarily mean physical whooping. I will get other kids in order, because if you're in my house, you follow my rules. But I don't think that I'm not I just can't, like, even with the night that I went into labor with Cordy, I went off on Michaela because I was furious at what she did. Off on Michaela. Not once did I turn my head to Naya, because that's not my child. I'm not going to talk to her in that manner. Like, granted, I was angry, so a lot of emotions. I probably wouldn't never talk to Michaela like that before, any other time. But I was like at a million off the rack, and I'm not gonna yell at her like that. I'm not gonna yell at her like that. I know that she felt my emotions because she was standing right next to Michaela, so she knew what it was. She seen Michaela get in trouble, so as a good friend, she should have felt bad for what she did, and I communicated it with her mother. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't feel like there's certain things. I think there's a limit when it comes down to it, because, like, and my mom she'll tell you that she don't care. We skipped school that one day, and my stupid self was like, we can go to my house. Me and 3 of my friends went to my house, and my mother whooped all of us. Whooped us all. And I don't think their parents know about it to this day, because they didn't tell. Because they're like, if we tell, we get another whooping because we skipped school. But, like, that first and foremost, that ain't changed nothing, because we skipped school again. Like, we've skipped. I became a school skipper, okay?
But the model that was the model that your mom illustrated in that moment was village.
No, that's not true.
Well,
what
should have happened was, though, she disciplined all y'all, and then she go and tell the parents.
My thing would be like, okay, stay here, don't move, because the authority of my voice is gonna make them fearful and not move. Do not move.
Not today.
Give me your parents' phone numbers. Not today is different because if a child buck up at me, I ain't whooping them. I'm taking them in the street and boxing them. Just joking. Listen. So like, a child come to my house, and for instance, Michaela and all 4 of her friends, 3 of her friends skip school and they come to my house. Do not move from this couch. Give me your parents' phone numbers right now. 9 times out of 10, if they skip school with Michaela, I probably already got their parent number. But let me call their parents. I'm calling them immediately. I just want you to know that such and such skipped school. They sitting right here on my couch. I just want you to know that such and such skipped school. They sitting right here on my couch. I can either drop them back off at school, or they can stay here. You can pick them up from here. You could use my living room and do what you gotta do. Like, I'm not gonna. I don't know. It's just not me. I just don't think that it is okay. Because I don't know the trauma or whatever another child is going through for me to be able to whoop their kid. I don't know. I just don't. I don't think that's okay. And I think that the village is not necessarily just to discipline a kid. Like, I definitely don't think that. I think a village is to lead on your child. Like, you know, I think, like, even right now, I think the village is coming through for sure. You know what I mean? And it's beyond.
It's beyond discipline. It's definitely support.
Right.
It's all of that. But discipline is not to be discounted from that.
I guess. I think it's just. I'ma just. Everybody, put your hands.
It's
in
just
this direction.
no. You're just such a social worker.
No, I'm not a social worker. I mean, I am a social worker. But and with that, I see things, and I see the effects of things, and
because you're a social worker.
Not because I'm a social worker, but I look at things through a scope of a longer effect of a person. I don't just say, oh well, like for instance, we're going through this situation with Cordy, and every time he does it, he gets his butt popped. Mm-hmm. How long has this been going on?
Wow.
So is popping his butt effective?
I mean, he was doing good for a minute.
And then, no. Is popping his butt effective?
I can't really say whether it is or not, because like I said, he was doing good for a minute, and then he fell off.
No, he wasn't really doing good.
He was.
No.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't.
He was.
Okay. On the spot question. Speaking of, do you feel like, and I guess this show or the podcast is kind of helped me, not helped me to see it, but kind of put things into perspective or kind of broadened it a little bit. Do you think that we married into 2 different worlds?
Yeah.
Do you think that barriers exist because of that?
Barriers like what?
For instance, like, I mean, granted, it's TV life, but like, I feel like, you know how people say there's a difference between like parent-in-law and the parent-in-love. Mm-hmm. I think that we have in-laws. We share in-laws, not like.
I think it goes up and down. Like we have good stints and good stretches, and then it falls off. But I don't think there's any animosity anywhere. I think or if there is, it's nothing current. It's more so people holding on to old feelings, I guess.
That could be it. So, like, with us marrying into, like, different worlds, mm-hmm. How does that, if we look to be married for the rest of our lives, how does that,
looking to be married for the rest of our lives?
If we look to, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. If we look to be married, okay, because we look to be married for the rest of our lives, how does that, because it causes tension, and it causes barriers, and it causes walls, and it causes like discomfort. Just, you know what I mean? Like, just to simply put it, how do you change that? How do you cultivate it and help it to grow?
I don't really have an answer to that question.
Because it can't continue. You can't just like.
I don't know. I guess you gotta just attack it head on.
I think my suggestion, or not my suggestion, but my download, is like just being willing and being able to let go of certain things from your separate worlds, because two people come together to create one. And we talked about this at the beginning of December when we talked about Christmas. We hold on to certain traditions that we had as a child. When you get married, you leave that stuff. You don't leave it all, but you leave a lot of it to create your own path. Because if we continue to hold on to our past worlds, we will never get anywhere, like ever. Because we'll always remain stuck, but be like, okay, you get what I'm saying? Like, we'll always be, all right, we're good, but what are we actually, like? We may be growing businesses together, we may be growing, brands together, but are we really growing a foundation together? Because we can't grow Courtney, Dereka, Sulin, Annette foundation, Gimme and Pop foundation. We can't grow all that together because that's not ours. Mm-hmm. So we have to learn what to let go. You know what I mean? And I think that is what causes a lot of rifts between us. Even unstated rifts, because there's a lot of times that this guy, I'm just kidding. There's a lot of times that we have issues and it just show all on our face, or on your face, and in my quietness, because I could be real ghost face. Mm-hmm. You can't. So I could always tell when you feel some type of way. So like, that has to be like addressed, because not necessarily addressed because it's not really anything specific. Like, you can't, like, me personally with you, I can't say this is what it is. I just know that there's something that you're like, you want to either hold on to, or.
So when someone, either you or me, does speak up and they want to hold on to something and the other party doesn't want to, how do you deal with that?
I don't know, because it's not necessarily the other party, it's your party. It's the party that, if it's me and you, mm-hmm. It's the party that is your party. I can't say, well, Courtney don't want to do this, but this is what we do it. I can't say that, because we're one. We're supposed to agree. You know what I mean? Like, we're supposed to agree to walk together. If it's something that heavy in our lives, then yeah. Like, if it's something of, like the Christmas conversation. I don't want to travel on Christmas Day. I don't want to travel on Christmas Eve. We could flip-flop it, or, you know what I mean? Like, those are things that you can kind of almost compromise. But like, when it comes to something like, I don't know.
Yeah, think of like a big thing that it's been. It's been stuff that's been very minute. That's been magnified.
There's been minor things that have been magnified, and I think the only reason why they become magnified is because they create bigger issues, or they cause behaviors to change, or they cause attitudes to change, or things like that. I think that's more the reason why they become magnified, not because it's a small issue. Because for us, like I talked to you about it last night, when we talk about Christmas, mm-hmm. I'm like, all right, how you doing? And then I check back in with you closer to Christmas, mm-hmm. because we see things on Instagram, we see things on Facebook, that's like, oh, we supposed to be there. And I'm like, well, let me check in, see if he got an attitude, because I felt attitude. So it's not necessarily the small, like that might have been a small issue. I really don't have
an attitude though. Like, I'm good.
You've been showing stuff in your face.
I'm good.
In your mannerisms. So it's not necessarily.
You look for something sometimes though.
I don't think I look for anything. I can 100% tell when the energy shift in our house.
But how if I'm literally not feeling any type of way? How can you say you're right and I'm wrong?
I'm not saying that you're right and you're wrong. I'm just saying maybe you don't realize that you do it.
But I'm okay. I'm good.
Okay, but I'm telling you what I'm seeing. There's been so many times.
It's like forcing somebody to like.
What's wrong? Nothing. Yes, it is.
But it's really nothing wrong. I'm just good. I'm chilling.
Okay. Okay. If you say so. But like I said, I'm very big, and it could have been. It may not be something with me. Everything doesn't have to be with me. You know, like that day that Michaela got in trouble for algebra after school help, right? Mm. And you was sitting at the table and she came out there. You was like, you was sitting at the table like that. That's really how you was.
Nobody doesn't know what happened.
You was like your lips was poked out and everything, and I'm like, oh my god, like you can't do that with the kid. But then I was like, you might not have noticed that she was doing it, but I was sitting right across from you at the table, and you were. I might have
had a stern face or whatever, because we was going back and forth.
That's different than a stern face. That's like a
because me and her were going back and forth over something we should have never been going back and forth over. And
it was really like, it was poor communication, but not on your part, on Michaela's. I think it was really poor communication with Michaela, because one thing that she doesn't communicate her movements. Not saying she got to be like, I'm getting up and I'm walking to the bathroom. No, I'm saying like, she never told you that I just checked the link twice and it wasn't working. So that's what I'm saying, like her communication skills. We just have to keep working on her with that. Because if she would have told you that, it would have been like, oh, okay, cool. If she would have told you...
She would have had a computer and everything.
If she would have told you that I messaged my teacher, and my teacher said they don't do algebra help on Friday afternoons. Okay, that would have been it. But because of her communication, it was a lot of back and forth banter. But with me, it was just like, I think that it'll take growth, and it'll take... I'm not going to say growth. It'll just take... conscious choice, or conscious, we have to learn to not let our children or our parenting affect our attitude, because our kids are gonna stress us out all day, every day. Like, okay, no, they're not. They're amazing, but there are things that will happen that will stress us out, and if we treat it like, oh, now I got an attitude because Cordy done did this, it's gonna affect the whole house. No, that's parenting. Like, and then the enemy is gonna slip in and be like, you know what? I'm gonna make this happen a lot more because it's causing tension in their home. I'm gonna make this happen a lot more because it's causing hell in their home. So, like, as parents, we have to learn how to be wetbacks when it comes to parenting. Like, it's time. There are times when, you know, at the end of the night, we laying in the bed and I'm like, oh, Michaela really stressed me out with this. Oh, Cordy, really, we gotta find a different way to do this, you know, because that's what we are for, but not in the house. I don't think that is the way to do it. Even going to church. Listen, because I've been to church a couple times. Oh my God, help me, Lord. Like at Crosspoint. And the counselor came to me. Like, is she okay?
Can I pray with her? Do you mind if I pray with her?
I'm saved already.
they came over like what's his name? He did in his stand up. I forget his name. That be with Kevin on stage. Tall skinny dude.
Tony
Baker.
Baker.
Tony Baker. He was talking about how the big churches are having like the welcome song. He was like, welcome. They came put the hand on his shoulder.
Oh my God! Listen, it was crazy. I was just talking about that yesterday. Like
that was hilarious.
How the counselor came up to me and was talking to me about it. I'm like, sir, I got some parenting woes right now. Courtney was like, she's pregnant right now. You know,
her emotions are all over the place.
But yeah, as parents, we gotta learn how to like just be wetbacks and just let it roll off. Because if not, we gonna be jacked up and have attitudes all over.
You right. This stuff nasty.
Sunny D.
Yeah, that stuff is gross.
But
how do we drink that as children? That's probably
I water it down.
That's why the kids be having attitudes. We giving them stuff.
That stuff is nasty.
This stuff is gross.
But like, so in my on the spot question, I asked if you thought we like married from different worlds. And I definitely agree because you was church.
I was church. I'm still church.
I'm saved, but I was never church. Because
I'm churchy.
I just didn't. I ain't banged with a lot of folk in the church. They corny.
It can be, but it ain't no different than people in the street. They're corny too.
That's true. But you expect it from them.
It's true.
You expect it from folk in the street.
It's true.
But I said that because sometimes when some old school rap come on, and I go in
with old school rap too. This just this new stuff.
No, I mean like okay. When I like if I'm rapping all
like
the lyrics to like Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
Court look at me like he ain't noticed about me. You know I got inner ratchet.
I know you. You got outer ratchet.
I do not have outer ratchet.
Okay.
You think I'm ratchet?
Yeah.
Dang.
I love you. You was ratchet when I met you.
I was not ratchet.
With them big old gold black braids and all that stuff. That's ratchet stuff.
Oh, that was an accident. She braided them too big.
Them days was huge. Them just was like,
But they came back. People wearing them now.
You right.
I trend set it.
You ratcheted. No, but I mean, I like a little ratchet. Ratchet don't bother me. No, every female in Niagara Falls is ratchet.
You right about that. And all them booze in Rochester you loved. I mean, Ratchester you loved.
No, you should just shoot a shot.
Ratchester. Yeah, I can shoot a shot. Pound, pound, pound.
Pray for her, y'all.
So, I'm glad you love me, and I'm glad that I love you, even though we come from different places. And I did just take a shot, but whatever. That speaks to love and trust. How does that speak to love and trust?
It don't at all.
I be trying to transition so smooth. Can you have love and trust? I mean, can you have love without trust?
You asked me this once before, and I gave an answer, but I don't know if I stand by that answer. I said...
You said no.
I said no. But I don't know.
I feel like
I feel like you have an element of love that can be tied to trust or without trust. But you can't have like the full essence of love without trust. Which is how we found ourselves in a lot of situations that we've been in. Because as my wife and as the mother of my children, I loved you, but I chose to dip out and do some stuff.
But
that
you hurt my
caused
trust.
that caused a lot of distrust.
Hence
and
my
vice-
pew pew.
and vice versa.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We went through stuff where I didn't trust you for a long time. In the beginning of our relationship, even after stuff happened, I didn't trust you.
I guess in the beginning of our relationship, I didn't really care because I was
Wildin'.
telling you. Not wilding.
You
I
was
was
wildin'.
not wilding.
You was definitely
No,
wildin'.
I was not.
You was a lie.
But
You was wildin'.
I was open like crazy. I was cut from a different cloth. Yo, I'm telling you what I'm doing. It is what it is. Thank God for deliverance, Jesus. But how could that cause distrust? Because
you told me you weren't doing something, and then I find out that you were. Distrust. It's birthed right there.
Okay. Well, so you think that you can have elements of love without trust?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that you can? Well, I guess if you trust somebody, you love them. Yeah, I guess if you trust somebody.
An element of love, like there's agape love. There is.
And I think that if you agape love somebody,
you gotta trust them because the agape love is the full essence of love. It is all the different types of love. I can't even think of the Greek right now, but
phileo,
yeah, that's one of them.
and
I can't think of it right now.
I think it's like 4.
I'm tired, y'all.
We are so tired. Oh my
y'all,
gosh.
y'all bear with us.
I don't
today.
even know why. Like, why are we sleepy? Oh, because our kids like to wake up early. Well, not Cordy. Cordy get his sleep.
Cordy be trying to get his sleep in.
But
Kyder,
and he don't know how to crawl out the bed yet. So
he
like, in the middle
he'll
of the
wake up
night,
and
he'll be crawling. He'll be crawling all over the
he
bed.
be whooping me.
So
like,
we have to. Oh yeah, he did smack you in the
he
face.
be
this morning.
whooping me, boy.
I watched him do it. I watched him do it. I was like, yeah, wake him up. And he said,
His hand's heavy too.
Yeah.
Lucky I wasn't like deep sleep. I would have probably punched him back. I'm just saying, reflexes.
and today's episode would have been with me only. Anyway, so like the element of love, because if you don't trust anybody, you don't love them, or you don't completely
right.
love them. I guess that'll have to be like a conversation later of levels to love, because either you do or you don't.
So you don't think that you can have trust without love, or love without trust?
I don't really know, to be honest, because
I said no initially.
I don't know. I don't really know, because I mean, you know, back in the day, people would be like, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. I guess that would be it. I love you.
See, but then,
and because I don't trust you, I'm not in love with you.
And I'm gonna help you with the transition here.
That's true.
I'm helping with the transition here because it speaks to like wedding vows, where it says well in sickness and health and better or for worse. So like that stuff speaks to the love is there, but stuff might happen to cause a rift in the trust foundation, and you choose to weather the storm together because you love each other and you made those vows.
No, but I feel like if I made those vows and I'm choosing to stand by my vows, and not necessarily, I'm not talking about like infidelity or anything like that, but I'm saying if I love you enough to stand by my vows and to continue to weather the storm, then I trust that we'll make it through the storm. Cause I ain't going into no storm. If I know that I ain't making it out this storm, and I have the option to walk through it or to go around it, I'm going around it. If I know I'm not making it out this storm, so I feel like I have to trust you enough to know that we're gonna make it through it. Or
Is it trusting me or is it trusting
God?
God?
I guess it'd be both. It would be both.
Because I've seen situations where it didn't look like individuals were ever going to. With us, I didn't think we were going to get back together. I just knew we was done.
I know you did.
I just knew that we were done,
Mm-hmm.
and that there was. So did I have faith in myself or in you that we were going to get back together? No. But did I desire it?
No.
A part of me really did. There was a part of me that didn't, but there was a part of me that did.
It was a whole lot of you that did.
At one point, but then it flipped. Which is how we are here now.
So, transition. I'm just joking. So we was listening to our sister's live the other day. Church sister Tiffany and her amazing ministry.
Yes.
Good fruit. No.
Good tree.
Good tree, good fruit. And she does prophetic painting. And she is phenomenal. Check her out on Facebook. Check her out on Instagram. Good tree, good fruit. Art Co. But she did this live the other day, and she was talking about how if her husband told her she can't go worship, she gonna have a fit. And I was like, I know that's right. And Courtney was like, I don't know, because you're supposed to submit to your husband. And I was like, please, like, if he know I'm going to church, I'm going to church. And we kind of went back and forth or whatever. And I don't know, like, I feel like submitting to your husband, just like love, there's levels to this.
Lord. But the Bible does say that a wife is to serve and honor her husband as unto God.
Okay.
So how can you as a wife honor God without honoring your husband first, if that was the commandment that he gave you?
I'm making your dinner before I go to church. It's the same. It's fine. I don't know. I'm
for real. I'm not saying that I 100% agree with the whole thing, because no.
I don't know. Like, I'm just not really.
I get the theology.
I feel like if you are, and the Bible also says, don't be unequally yoked.
It does say that.
So, like, if you're married to somebody who is trying to pull you away, either you're gonna pull them, or they're gonna pull you, or somebody gonna come and unlock the yoke.
But the Bible speaks about being unequally yoked prior to the marriage. You should have never got married to him, but now you've made these vows to God.
No, it doesn't say before marriage.
No, but that's what it's supposed to be.
People switch up. So you can get married and then something changes, and then now you're unequally yoked with this individual.
So now it's your job to pray through it.
And follow God.
It's your job to pray through it.
And follow God.
and follow God. I'm not saying don't follow God.
Go to church, girl.
But what I'm saying is...
worship.
What I'm saying is you still are responsible to honor the vows that you made to that man.
But nothing in the vows say... First of all, the vows don't say anything about submission. Marriage vows don't say submit.
It says to love and honor.
I honor you.
But a part of honoring for a wife, biblically, is submission.
You can't speak to wedding vows, though. You just gotta say Bible.
Okay, I'm speaking wedding vows, as well as the blueprint of marriage and the blueprint of biblical roles within a marriage. Now, ladies, I'm not saying that you should, because of submission, you should just take getting beat in the head or anything of that nature when it comes to being married, because it's not okay and that's not God's will for your life.
For your life.
But Bible does speak to the sanctified wife will sanctify her husband, and vice versa. So it comes back to trusting God. If you are faced with that situation where you marry a man who is chasing after God, and then all of a sudden he falls off and he's going a different way, you're now unequally yoked, but you're still tied to this man in wedlock and in the eyes of God. So it's your duty still to be submissive to that man,
because he unlocked the way.
He is your husband, and this is the man that you bound yourself to.
That's true. Even though, Courtney was trying to leave me, he was locked to me, and I was gonna go with him. Me and all the kids was gonna go with him, even though I didn't like him. I like you now.
I love you, and I like you.
Even though you be having a little attitude.
You do too.
But do what works for your marriage.
Do what works for your marriage.
Because advice from everybody.
As long as it's working.
Sure, that's true. Advice is good. Man, that's a big one. We'll talk about that later, though. We'll talk about that later. Do what works for you. Do what is comfortable for you. You can get advice from whoever you want to get advice from, but that might have worked for them.
Exactly.
It might not work for you.
Exactly.
Pray about it, you know. Get you some good spiritual leaders. Whoop, whoop. No, I wasn't doing that.
Yes, you were.
No, I wasn't.
Oh, you were just
yes.
Okay, salute.
Wow. That's why don't nobody like us.
I like you.
Do you?
I just
see. I haven't seen this smile in a long time. Maybe he was going through withdrawals from recording because we ain't recording too.
I missed y'all.
So maybe he was going through withdrawals because he was really moping around the house, acting stank. Okay, I'd be tired too. Acting stank, acting all attitudey, and I'm like, yo, at this point, I'm going to retirement. That's why I'm broke, cause of him. But anyway, it's been real, y'all. But listen, guys, it's been real.
Yes.
It's been amazing.
It's been fun.
People are saying that they want to hurry up and get out of 2020, but 2020 has blessed the Newsom family.
Oh, no, we didn't talk about.
My babe got a new job!
That too. But what I didn't get, my superpowers.
I didn't get my superpowers either. I trucked at you, Jarrell. I laid down.
I wanted my superpowers. I was going to come over here.
Nothing.
Like, see what I can do?
Nothing. Nothing. There's nothing there. Nothing. I can't levitate. I can't. Man, I was ready. I said, ooh, if I could turn invisible, I pay my tithes, but let me tell you where I'm going. All that.
Man.
But 2020 has been great to us.
It has.
It's been a tough year, through COVID, but God has truly, truly blessed.
He has.
New jobs, promotions, tax brackets increasing. Thank you, God. Businesses, LLC businesses, not just saying I got a business. LLCs. Man, just awesome. God has been faithful. And one way I can truly say that, or one reason that I can truly say I feel like his favor is on us, because I have not stopped tithing.
Yeah.
I pay my tithes. This is the first time in my life, 2020 is the first time in my life that I've been faithful with tithes. Like 100% faithful. Like,
and look what Jesus did.
Like 99% faithful.
Cue track. See, I'm gonna get that ready for whenever we.
Pastor had his ready. You should have yours ready.
It's on my iPad.
Anyway, yes. So 2020 has been great. Podcast launching and all of that. I mean, just everything. So,
and we got some more stuff that's gonna be coming to y'all real soon.
Lots more.
We cooking up some stuff.
Stick with us.
We going places.
And I checked. It belongs to us now.
Yep.
Don't even try it.
We coining that jar.
We love y'all. Yes. And as always, like,
like, share, subscribe, follow, turn your notifications on.
All of that.
All of
YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. Hit us up on Facebook. Hit us up on Instagram. I mean, just stalk us, kind of.
We don't want stalkers.
But
we do want followers.
We do want followers and subscribers. We love you guys. We are
the Newsomes, and this is the All Is Fair in Love and Marriage podcast.